Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear to make an informed decision. And in this video, we're going to dive in to AllianceBlock, kind of go over the year-end review, talk about the big announcement and the pieces of the puzzle they've been putting together throughout this year, and it just basically came together. And with a little luck, that'll give them the momentum to really start 2023 like they want to. Because this is some pretty good, powerful news about AllianceBlock and what they've created. Now, we're also going to take a look at the chart, talk about what I expect throughout the end of the year, the start of 2023, and pretty much all through next year. So let's dive into it. The first thing we probably should talk about is AllianceBlock ISO20022 compliant? Well, the answer is no, but it is part of their roadmap and it's definitely part of their game plan. And as far as I'm concerned, and as far as they're concerned, they will be part of the banking system and they will be ISO 20022 compliant. And I personally believe they will meet that goal and it will not hold them back from doing what they're trying to do in the banking sector. Now, if you're not familiar with AllianceBlock, go to AllianceBlock.io and watch the video that's on their website. And as you can tell from the website, it says AllianceBlock seamlessly brings DeFi and TradeFi together. They have like 7 pillars of what they are trying to accomplish, and I like the tech. I like everything about AllianceBlock, from the founder, from the team, from their technology, you name it. I pretty much like AllianceBlock. Now, when I dove into everything that they've accomplished throughout the year, guys, this could be a 2-hour video. They've done a lot, and they should be proud of themselves. And I'm just going to touch base on some things and put some pieces together. They started off this year, basically this time last year, they announced that they joined the Open Wealth Association. And it says, creating a doorway to DeFi for the major Swiss banks, wealth techs, and traditional finance players. So that's a good way to start your year. Now, they created a service for liquidity mining. That's very positive to have in your ecosystem. Now, another announcement was expanding the interoperability potential of AllianceBlock Bridge with cross-messaging protocol. They like to be and want to be have high interoperability. Now, another announcement was AllianceBlock partners with Peak to unlock new liquidity in the economy of things. AllianceBlock partnered with Super Colony to accelerate innovation on Polkadot's parachains. Now, just like they have a partnership with Polkadot, that's one thing I like about AllianceBlock. They don't just partner, they actually try to team up and accomplish certain objectives and certain, projects together. Just like this announcement, AllianceBlock deploys a ChainLink price feed to bring AllianceBlock to DeFi markets. Now, they announced that they had 100 million AllianceBlock tokens to incentivize the growth on their ecosystem. I love that. That's definitely what you want to see because, guys, in this environment, you need to have the resources to keep pushing forward because there's not a lot of value, added coming into your ecosystem from people buying your tokens. Now, this is a big, big deal. They basically launched what they call founders, and that's to help build their ecosystem, right? And they are going to bring projects on to show them how to raise money and to launch them. Now, They also partnered with an on-ramper to simplify fiat conversions to make DeFi more accessible. It says that they announced the one-stop shop for DeFi, introducing the new DeFi terminal. So guys, they're moving forward and they're hitting all the goals on their roadmap. That's definitely what you want to see. Now this is getting into the really good news, putting these pieces together, what they just announced. So stay with me. It says, introducing the Nextra protocol, the next generation standard for NFTs and interoperability metadata. Now that's basically the interoperability for NFTs in the future. Now, with that protocol, they also partnered and created a programmable smart wallet powered by Nextra. Now, here's the big deal. Their first launch, they helped bring DYOR into the blockchain. Now, they've already raised $113,000. And it's a private sale, and they're going to raise even more money in the next 10 days. Now, basically, if you want to be part of their future launches, you can stake your AllianceBlock and you'll have access to these future projects. That might be something you want to take a look at. And I'm going to go down that rabbit hole for myself as well and probably create a video in the future about it. Now, here's the big thing about DYOR. It is a Swiss startup. They already have 5 million users. They are going to tokenize every one of those users, and they'll be able to mint NFTs, and they're kind of onboarding like the unbanked and the people that have not had access to like DeFi and Web3 and stuff like that. So that's a massive start when you're starting with 5 million people right out of the gate. So that's a pretty good way to start 2023. And I'm sure this project's going to be successful. And once people see how it works and what it brings to the unbanked and the people around the world that hasn't had the access, it's going to be, a pretty big deal. Now, let's take a look at the chart. Now, depending on what you think about, buying something when it's down, is how you look at this chart. I love this chart, but I'm going to be very honest about my interpretation of the chart and the future of AllianceBlock, because right now, guys, we are in a bear market and we got a lot of pain coming, and we'll get into that. But now, when you look at the chart, guys, they've been as high as like I think it was 130, 136, 137, and right now it's at 0.04. If they take out their high in the next bull run, that's a 35x, somewhere in there to take out that high. And we might be going a little lower. And that's not after they take out that high. Maybe they 2, 3, 4, 5x from there. Who knows? So as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to stack a small bag of AllianceBlock. I already own some. Now, that being said, here's my thoughts and my concern. I believe we have 6, 8, 9 months of real pain coming. From what I can tell and from my background, the Fed has already done the damage. No matter what they do from here, we're going to have a deep recession, and I don't care what anyone says, we're already in a recession. You can change the definition, but guys, we've been using the same definition for like 145 years, so I'm going to stick with that. We're in a recession. Now, it's going to get worse and worse. We're already starting to see signs of it. The car company, what is it? I can't think of the name. The car Cartura, whatever it is. I can't think of the name. They just announced that they're going to file for bankruptcy and try to reorganize. Carvana is the name. So Carvana is trying to reorganize because what they've been doing is buying cars all the way up. And, you know, used cars went up 20, 30, 40% over the years. First time in history you could buy a used car, drive it for a year, and sell it for more than you paid. It's bizarre. But now they have like over 100,000 cars that they have negative equity. Well, the bank is starting to call those notes, and they want them to, you know, put up more assets, and they can't do it. So now they're going to have to dump a lot of those cars. So the used car market is going to crash. I'm 100% sure of that. Now, that is kind of what we're going to see across the board, because with all this supply chain backup in the last 2 years, a lot of major corporations, whether it's Walmart or Home Depot, they've had to go ahead and order a backlog at real high prices. Well, now 6, 8, 9 months later, for instance, a 2x4 at Home Depot got up to like $11 or $12, at least where I'm from. That's a bizarre amount. They're normally, you know, $2.50 to say $4. Well, once that inventory starts to come in, it's just going to be like Carvana. They are going to be upside down with that inventory. And so when they bring it in, they're going to need to sell those, and they're going to sell them at a loss. And that's going to go across the planet. It's going to happen everywhere. And so the damage is done no matter if the Fed pivots tomorrow or whatever. Now, it may lessen the damage a little bit if they go ahead and pivot, but I don't even think they're going to do that. I think they're going to keep pushing the interest rates higher until something breaks, for whatever that's worth. So here is my concern with AllianceBlock. They do have some pretty solid partnerships, but this is a bizarrely competitive space. And it doesn't matter about your team. It doesn't matter about the anything during these bad times except having the money to keep going forward. Because if you don't have the resources to push further, well, you know, when the developers start to leave, they may not make it. Now, I'm not saying that is going to happen whatsoever with AllianceBlock, but for me, that is my concern. When I start to see something that was at $1.36 and now it's at 0.04 and probably heading lower, and we haven't even got to the pain yet. So that's just something to consider. Now, on a positive note, here's my game plan. I already have a small bag. I'm going to stack a little more. If something breaks, I'll probably add to that bag even more. But nothing I can't afford to lose. Now, my big plan for AllianceBlock is whenever we start the next bull run, whether that's 6 months from now or 2 years from now, if they survive and they have been building the whole time, I'm going to load the boat at the start of the next bull run. And I believe if they can make it through this real downturn, they're going to be fine. Now, the positive side to that, and why I personally believe they will make it, when they got started, it was kind of in the same type conditions. The only difference is now that concerns me across the board with crypto is this is the first time that crypto, since its inception of Bitcoin, has had a bear market with the Fed not printing money. It is a big difference, guys, because in the past, even though they went into a bear market and had a crash, there was a lot of liquidity in the market, and a lot of people had money. They didn't know what to do with it, and they put it into riskier assets like crypto. Well, now that has the opposite effect of what's going on in the macro environment. So there's not a lot of money pumping into anything as far as investments across the board. So in my opinion, no matter what, in the start of 2023, any pump, I don't care what token it is, I'm going to short sell that. That's the way to make money, because no matter what it is, in my opinion, not financial advice, nothing is going to be able to maintain a pump. I don't care what protocol it is or what company it is, whether it's a stock, nothing is going to be able to maintain a rally for, say, the next, I don't know, at least 3 to 4 months. Now, once the Fed pivots, wherever we're at, it's time to go into those protocols like AllianceBlock and the ISO20022 Compliant Tokens and a bunch more and load the boat. That's my plan. Anyway, guys, I tend to get on a ramble at the end of these videos. Let me know what you think in the comments section about AllianceBlock. Guys, it's early in crypto. And that's another one of my concerns, not just with the AllianceBlock, but the new technology, especially with what AI is going to create. Because, guys, if you've been following AI and understand it, I don't know what the next 5 years is going to look like, because the human brain pretty much got us to create this fascinating technology. But now they've got it to the point where we can ask a robot, basically, which is 100 times smarter than any human ever lived, combined, we can ask it, hey, how do we build a better layer 1? Or should we build something that's even different? How should we do DeFi? Well, guys, that's all coming together. So the next 2 years, it's going to look so different to where we're at. That's a little bit of my concern is, even though all this technology is mind-blowing now, and it's a lot to wrap your head around, in 2 years, it may be obsolete. It's moving that fast. And AI, guys, is going to change the world. I've been watching a lot of videos talking about it, and what's coming down the pipe is going to be absolutely explosive. In the next 10 to 25 years, there's no telling what the world is going to look like after that. We're having a banking reset. We're having a different alignment throughout the world with different countries. The technology is growing so fast, you can't keep up with it. The governments can't keep up with it. And it really matters of how the regulation happens, especially in America, because if we don't do it right, we're going to lose our place in the world. So as far as I can see, it's all fascinating and a little bit scary at the same time. But to end on a positive note, and I know I'm rambling, to end on a positive note, guys, I believe that the next couple of years, 2 to 5 to 10 years, is the biggest opportunity ever for people to change, the average person to change their financial future. And they're going to do it by investing in crypto, Web3, the metaverse, DeFi, and everything that's coming down the pipe. So don't get down. Start stacking some cash is my suggestion, not financial advice. Educate yourself. Don't get out of crypto. If nothing else, keep following along. Keep watching these videos, because, guys, I truly believe if you're watching this video, if you're one of the people that are watching this video, your odds of being successful financially are going to grow every single day. The more you know, and the more you stack these real world utility tokens, and the more you prepare for the next bull run when the Fed pivots, guys, it's going to change lives. And I'm impatient, but it's trying me. But I can't be more exciting. If you see what I see when I go down the rabbit hole every day about the adoption in blockchain, it's absolutely fascinating what this next bull run is going to look like. Anyway, sorry about the ramble. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Either way, guys, hit that like button and come back and be part of this community. Take care.